So yeah, Gold79 is a Southwest U.S. gold explorer. I think what makes us unique is we have 3 projects, all with 100+ drill holes and economic grades, and large-scale gold and soil anomalies. So big discovery potential on the back of that. I think where the market has got it wrong and why I think we're cheap is even though as a CEO I'm obligated to say that. Why I think we're cheap is that we're trading as if we're a greenfield explorer, and in reality all of our projects are pretty advanced. Yeah, so as of right now, we're funded for the work programs we have on the go. One of the objectives this year is to drill at our Jefferson Canyon project, which is 7 kilometers from Round Mountain, and also to drill our Gold Chain project in Arizona, which is just north of Elevation Mining's Moss Mine. I think those programs we'll need to fund those programs, but we're working on that. Well, I mean, obviously the gold price going up is going to help everybody, and as much as I'd love to, that would be great. It's not something you bank on as a junior company. You got to keep moving your projects ahead. From a technical work point of view, we have some geophysics that we recently completed at our Gold Chain project, which will be coming out to the market. Additionally, I think what a lot of our investors are waiting for is the permits for our drilling permits for our Jefferson Canyon project. We're working on that for almost a year now. Plan is once we get those to go and drill. I think that's going to be an important catalyst for the stock. Our Jefferson Canyon project historically has 145 drill holes. One of those historic holes is 41 meters at 6 grams gold and 400 grams silver, and so the opportunity to be able to follow that up, I think, is going to be rewarded by the market. I mean, there's lots of mistakes, and I've made lots of them myself. I think one of the things that I think that investors, my experience, I joined Gold79 about a year ago from the sell side. I was a sell side analyst, and I think one of the things that a lot of investors miss, especially in Southwest U.S., is land tenure and what kind of land their various projects are on. One thing that I think that investors need to be asking questions about is what type of land it is. Is it BLM? Is it Forest Service? Is it patented? And what the timeline is to permits, and then what type of drill permits do they have? Notice level permits, which is what we're working towards on Jefferson Canyon, are only a short duration, whereas plan of operations are longer duration permits. And I think especially in this day and age with ESG focus being more important, I think it's important that investors know what they're investing in on the land tenure side, because it can lead to long delays between drill programs. And I don't think a lot of our peers aren't necessarily forthcoming on the land tenure of their projects. Well, I think it's funny when I was a sell side analyst, and you'd have CEOs come in and sit with me and say, Derek, what's wrong? I'm doing all these right things. I put out these good drill holes, and the market didn't reward me. And and I would inevitably tell them, hey, you have to, just keep doing the right things, and eventually the market that valuation gap will close. I think the hardest thing was reminding myself of that. We had a good drill program in the fall of last year. Market didn't reward us for it, but we're starting to demonstrate continuity at our Gold Chain project at the Tyro target. And so I think that's what that's the challenge is being patient with the market, keeping to advance technically, but being patient with the market, because the market doesn't always necessarily reflect that opportunity. And I think from a rewarding perspective, I think the big thing for me is that you're working on, instead of working on as a sell side analyst, a whole bunch of things a little bit. As a corporate, one company really, really well, and I think that's been rewarding in that sense, is getting past that initial level of detail and digging right into what's going on. I think for 2022, I think particularly for the junior equities, I think we're in a period. We're in one of those sort of classic liquidity crunches. You're seeing the broader market roll over. I think the direct result of that is that you're seeing liquidity come out of the space. And what's encouraging is that commodity prices, while they're off a little bit, they haven't really rolled over. They've relatively held in, but the equities have materially pulled back. And so I think there's an opportunity later in 2022 as that selling abates. And that liquidity selling abates, I think you're going to see a run, particularly in the gold space. It typically rallies first in these sort of these types of liquidity crunches. Looking out to 2032, I think that hopefully 2032 we're right at the tail end of a big log pull market, which would be a nice change for commodities. But I think in reality, I think what you're going to see from here to there is commodity prices substantially higher. We'll have set a new level for things like gold and copper prices, and then it'll be trading around those levels going forward. There's not one thing that ever stands out at PDAC, and maybe because it's just a blur of activity. But I think, the thing that I like about PDAC and I've always liked about PDAC is that you get to see everybody. Everybody's in one place from the industry, right? You get to spend time with people, even people in Toronto who I don't see, where I'm from. You don't see every day. You get to you run into them on the floor and you talk about mining and you see what the different people are doing. And that's the thing I like, and especially this year with it being post-COVID, I think that's going to be really exciting. Yeah, I think Gold79 there's a real opportunity for investors in Gold79 right now. I think the illiquidity of the market hasn't changed our fundamentals. We are still a good, strong company and a good assets. And I think that there's in the short term there's a real opportunity for the stock to re-rate as we move the projects ahead.